Hey guys, welcome to the channel Unshackling Sudokus and Puzzles. Today's video is being made on a request from one of our viewers. This is an Ascending NonConsecutive Sudoku taken from Logic Masters India contest that happened quite a while ago. The contest Sudokus were authored by Richard Stolk, one of the best Sudoku authors you'll ever see. Richard is a prolific author and he has authored multiple national championships and world championships also, and his creations are always something I look forward to. I will add the link to the Logic Masters India contest page on the description of the video. You can check out the Sudokus on the contest. They all are excellent. And the thing about the contest, or rather the theme of the contest, is that on each page of the PDF you will have exactly two Sudokus, and on each of the two Sudokus you will find the exact same givens in the exact same location. A really cool theme, right? And that too, both the variants are same, they are not related or something. Two different variants having the same givens at the same location. A really cool theme to have. And this Sudoku is one of the higher pointers from the contest, requested by one of the viewers. If you want to try out the Sudoku yourself, the link to solving is given in the description of the video. Please give it a try and come back to watch the video. And most importantly, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, please hit the bell button and subscribe to the channel. We'll really appreciate if you support us by subscribing to the channel. So let us move on to the rules now. Classic rules apply. Each row, each column and each 3x3 box will have digits from 1 to 9 without any repetition, and then some grey lines are given in the grid, as you can see. On each of these grey lines, starting from one end, we don't know which end, the digits will be strictly increasing till it reaches the other end. It's up to the solver to determine which end takes the lowermost digit and which end takes the highermost digit. And additionally, non-consecutive rules apply. That is, if you have, let's say, a digit here, or let us take this digit, you have a 7 given here, so which means that none of these 4 cells, the orthogonally neighboring cells, can take a 6 or 8, because 6 and 8 are one step away from 7, so they can't be in any of these 4 cells. So ascending non-consecutive Sudoku seems to be a really interesting one. So let us start the Sudoku now. So maybe we can start with this 7. So can the 7 increase going towards the right? Not possible, right? Because the only way then would be to have just a second, guys. Okay, so the only way to satisfy this would be to have 8 here and 9 here, but that gives us consecutive digits, so which means that 7 decreases going towards the right. Okay, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are the possibilities, and 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5 are the possibilities. Why I did this is that you'll see that these two cells will have a lot of eliminations. So 6 quickly gets eliminated because these two cells are adjacent, and I can't have a 2 here because that forces 1 here, so 2 is also eliminated. Can I have a 5 here? 5 is eliminated because you will need a 6 here. So you're seeing that we are eliminating lots of digits. So because of this 2, the 2 gets eliminated from there. So okay, so I can't even have the 4 here because that forces 5 here, so 4 is also eliminated. Interesting. So can I have further eliminations? I don't think so. I don't think we can eliminate any further from here. So let us try to look elsewhere. So all of the lines seems equally interesting. Okay, look at this line, guys. The 5 cell line given exactly at the middle. So we know that all these cells are at least one cell apart on the line. So by that I mean, if you have, for example, let's say 4 here, then this cell will at least be a 6. You can't have 5, right? So which means that to have exactly 5 digits and that to one cell apart, there is only one way. You'll notice that there is only one way. So, and that is to have either 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 or 1, 3, 5 again, 7 and 9. There is absolutely no other way other than these candidates inside these cells. If you try to place any even digits, you'll invariably hit a contradiction, and that is because it's a 5 cell line and each of the adjacent cells are at least one cell apart. That is what the rules state, right? So this is the only way to fill the line. So this is a 5. I have a 7 here, so I can resolve this line immediately. So 3, 5, 7, 9, and that becomes 1. So great start to the Sudoku. Let us fill row 5 now. So this has to be 4, 6, 8 and this has to be 2, 4, 6. 8 can't be there and both of these cells can take 4 possibilities. So let us continue now. So 1 is not in column 7, 1 is not in row 8, 1 cannot go here because these two cells are adjacent. So 1 goes here and 1 goes here. And another small thing to notice in this Sudoku is that 1 and 9 can never be in the middle of the lines because the lines continuously increase. So the end points cannot occur in the middle of the line. So this is not a 1. And by end points I mean 1 and 9. Obviously you can't have anything lower than 1 or greater than 9 on the Sudoku. So 1 is removed from here and 4 is removed from these cells, so 4 goes here. 6 is removed from these 4 cells, so 6 goes here. All the non-consecutive part helping us here. Okay, so can we place any of the digits? So I have the 1 and the 2 outside these 4 lines, right? This really seems interesting, guys. So the minimum digit I'll have is a 3 at one of the lines. We can even have a 4. So if I start with a 3, let's say here, this becomes a 5. That has to become a 6. And notice that these two cells are not adjacent, so they can still have consecutive digits. The non-consecutive part applies only to orthogonally neighboring cells. These are diagonally neighboring cells, so I can have a 5 under 6 here. It's not an issue. So and that becomes 7. Okay, I don't think I can ascertain anything from here. Okay, 2 is not here, 2 is not here, so 2 goes in one of these cells. Can I have a 2 here? So if I have a 2 here, this cell has to become a 1 and that is a contradiction. So that's not a 2. So 2 is in one of these cells and that produces 2 in one of these cells. That's interesting. So if I have 2 here, then one of these ends has to take a 1. 1 does not go here, so 1 has to go here. That seems likely. But 3 gets removed from here because 2 is in one of these cells, so that's not a 3. Okay. If I have the 1 here, the 6 is forced here, right? 2, 4, 8 and 9. 8 goes here, okay, nothing there. So 2 is not in this box, 2 is not in these 3 cells, so 2 has to be in one of these 3 cells, right? Can I have eliminations here? 2, 3. Okay, the problem is that these lines are bent, so they still can take consecutive digits, so I don't think there is anything here, right? Okay, this line also seems interesting, although I'm not sure why. So okay, so 1 is not in column 4, so 1 must be in one of these cells, right? 1 cannot go in the middle of the line, so 1 is also outside this line. Okay, lots of small information. So how do we use this? So if I have a 3 here, this becomes 5. I don't see any issue. But let us come back to this line, guys. So maybe this will help us because I'm seeing that both the 1 and 2 are eliminated from this line. So which means that the minimum value I can have at one of the ends of the line is a 3, right? So let's say I start with a 3 here, that has to become 5 at least, that has to become 7 at least, that has to become 9. Superb, superb. So this is the only way. So you'll notice that this line needs to have a 3 definitely, right? If you don't have a 3, you are not going to satisfy this line. And you can't have the 3 here, 3 cannot be in the middle because then you'll need 1 or 2 here. So that is ruled out already. So you can't have 3 here because it's adjacent to 2, so there is only one way. So that becomes 3. This has to be 5 minimum, this has to be 7 minimum, this has to become 9 minimum. So basically it's a fitting problem. Tough Sudoku, no doubt. This was one of the higher pointers in the contest and we are not surprised that it is asked for video. So 3 5 7 3 5 7. So this has to be a 3 5 and 7. Classic 3 gets eliminated from here. So either we have 3 5 7 here and that becomes 9, or 3 5 7 here and that has to be a 1. Okay, so the only possibilities are 3 5 7 or 3 5 again and 7. So which means this has to be a 5, and that eliminates 4 and 6 from here, non-consecutive. So that has to be 2, and this would be 4 6 8. That has to be 2 is eliminated, so the 2 goes here. That has to be 4 6 and 8. So very pleasant solve, guys. Really, I am enjoying the solve. So 6 and 8 is ruled out from here. This is a 7, so that becomes a 4. So there is no 4 here. And because of the 5, 6 is also ruled out, so that becomes 8. That has to be a 6, and that gives a 3 because 7 can't be here. So that has to be 7, that has to be 1. Superb. So we had a really narrow start to the Sudoku. We had to place the 1 outside, and then we had to deduce that this line has to be 3 5 7 9. So 1 2 4 8 3 5 7, this has to be 6 and a 9, and 9 gets ruled out immediately. That's a 9, that's an 8. Oops, sorry guys, that's a 9 and that's a 6. So 2 6 9 and 3 5 7. So these cells would be 1 4 and 8, and 6 is in one of these two cells, so 6 gets pushed here. Remaining digits are 2 and a 9. Now I think we can do some elimination. We have 3 5 here, so 4 cannot go in these cells. That has to be a 4, and this becomes 4 8. I'll remove the corner pencil mark. Can I remove 1 or 8? In the sense, okay, 9 is adjacent to 8, so that has to be a 1, can't be 8, so this has to be 8. And now you'll see that 1 is marked in one of these cells, so 1 gets removed from here, so that becomes 1. And 2 and 9, okay, nothing here. 2 6 9 3 5 7, so this must be a 1 4 and 8, and 8 is removed from here. This is not 8. 1 is not here, okay, and 1 is also not here, so that's 4 8, so that becomes 1 now. And this is a 3 cell line, right? I mean, a line is of length 3 cells, so you can't have digits which are 1 cell apart. I mean to say that you can't have 2 here, because then you can't place any cell here, right? Any value here. Oh, I could have actually explained by saying that 2 cannot be adjacent to 9, so this has to be 2 cannot be adjacent to 1, so this has to be a 9 and that has to be a 2. So 2 is in one of these cells, 2 is in one of these 3 cells. Classic, 2 cannot be here, 2 goes in one of these cells. So 1 2 4 7 9, so remaining digits must be 3 5 6 8, okay. And classic 9 must be going in one of these 2 cells. This is interesting, guys. 7 cannot go here, 7 cannot go here, so 7 has to go here. So we are getting a lot of small pencil marks. 7 is not in column 9, 7 is not in row 1, 7 goes here, and this 6 removes the 7 from this cell, so that has to be 7. 2 gets pushed here. A fun Sudoku, guys, really fun. So 1 3 7 9 and 2, so these cells must be 4 5 6 8, and 4 gets removed from here, so that's a 5 6 8. And I know that 4 or 5 here, so which means 6 and 8 must be in these cells. Maybe it will help us. Let me make a corner pencil mark there. 6 8. So it's not really clear where I have to see now. Lots of interesting places. Box 1, box 2, or even the non-consecutive parts at some cells. Not really certain. So 1 3 7 2 5 8. So that has to be 4 6 and 9. And 9 cannot be in the middle of a line, as we saw earlier, so this has to be 4 or 6. Okay, this can still be 4 or 6. I don't see any way that it can be resolved yet. So 2 is in one of these cells, 2 has to be in one of these cells. Can I get the 2 outside this line? Is it possible to have a 2 outside? So this would minimum be a 4, that has to be a 6, that has to be, okay. Okay, I don't think 2 is, but 2 can be, if I don't have a 2 here, 3 can be here, right? This would be a 3, that would be a 4, that would be a 6, that would be an 8. Okay, this seems possible. There are multiple ways to fit the line here. Okay, let us see if we can find something else. 2 is here. 2 cannot be in these cells, so 2 must be in one of these cells, and that forces the 2 here. Superb, guys, superb. So 2 cannot be here due to the consecutive part, right? Non-consecutive part. So 2 goes into one of these cells. And I don't think we can have 2 outside the line, can we? So let us start with the 4, 4, 5. That has to be minimum. Can't be 6, 7 or 8, so that would be 9. So 4 cannot be on this end of the line. So if I have a 4 here, that has to be minimum. It cannot be 5, cannot be 6, 7, 8. So 4 also cannot be here. So can we have a line with 5? If I have a 5 here, this becomes 6. This obviously becomes not possible. So can I have 5 here? That has to be a 5. 6, 7 is ruled out. So 5 is also ruled out. So which means that you can't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. I'm sorry. If you don't have a 2 here, you can't have anything of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So the only possible way now to fill would be 6, 7, 8 and 9, right? But 7 you have already here. So which means that you need to have the 2 here, guys. So what I tried to think was whether this line can be satisfied without the 2. So if I put the 2 here, I'll need to start with either the 4 at either end, wherein we got a contradiction, or the 5 at either end, which also gave us a contradiction. So the only remaining way to fill the 4 cell line was 6, 7, 8, 9, and that also gives a contradiction. So that has to be a 2, no doubt. And which means that this cell minimum would be, cannot be 2, 3, 4, has to be minimum 5, right? Can't be 6, 7, 8 because you have 7 here, so this has to be 5. Only value in fact is 5, and which means this has to be 6, 7 or 8, and that has to be a 7, 8 or 9. Fantastic, guys, really fun Sudoku. So you can't have 7, 9 here, so that has to be an 8, and that becomes 6, 7. Remember that this cell can still take a 7, so we may in haste eliminate the 7 from here, but notice that the non-consecutive part is not applicable to the diagonally adjacent cells, or rather the cells on the line. It's only applicable to adjacent cells on the grid. So this would be 6, 7, and you have a 7 here. That means that's a 6, and that forces 7 here. 2, 6, 7, 8, 1, 3, 5. So 4 and 9. So let me mark that. You have a 8 here, so that's a 4. That's a 9, and that resolves this 4, 8 immediately. So I think we have got quite a few digits now. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7. So remaining must be 4, 6, 8 and 9. I have a 4, 6 here. I can't have both 8 and 9 here. So this has to be 8 or 9. That 7 gives a 9 here. That forces the 9 here. And remaining digits are 4, 6, 8, right? For the row. And I can't have 6, 8 here. So that's a 4. That's 6. That's 8. This 4 gives a 5 here. 2, 5, 9, 4, 7, 8. So that would be 1, 3 and 6. 1 is removed from here. And 5 here removes the 5 from here. So this is 4, 6, 8. And 2 and 9. So remaining digits are 1, 3, 5, 7. Okay. So I have a 5 here. So 5 goes into these cells. 7 goes into these cells. And 1 and 3 I would have to place. Okay, 6 is here, so that means this would be 6. There is no 6 here. 1, 3, 5, 7, 2, 6, 9. So that would be a 4, 8. And because of the 7, that becomes 4 and that becomes 8. And now we know that this side it's decreasing. So this has to be 2 or 3. It has to be less than the 4. Can't have 2, so that has to be 3 and that has to be a 5. 2, 3, 8, 1, 4, 7, 9. So the remaining candidates are 5 and 6. So let us place them here. 2, 5, 8, 1, 4, 6. Remaining candidates are 3, 7, 9. And 9 cannot be in middle of the line, so 9 has to go here. That becomes 3, 7. And because of the 2, you get the 7 here and the 3 here, and that forces a 5 here and a 6 here. And these cells must be 3, 7, 9, 1, 5, 6. So 2, 4 and 8. 2, 4 is removed because of the 3, so that becomes 8. So that's a 2, 4 and that's a 2, 4. And we know that we need to have less than 3 on one end, so that has to be 2, that has to be 4. And this is not 8. That's that can be 6 and 8. This is not a 6. So let me remove the corner pencil marks. It's a little bit messy there. So 179258. So that would be 3, 4 and 6, right? So you can't have 3 and 4 in adjacent cells. So this would be has to be a 6. So that becomes now 3, 4, 3, 4, 4 is here. That gives a 3 here and a 4 here. Super fun, guys. So 4, 6, 8 gets resolved. So that's 8, that's 6, that's 4. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 2 and 9. So 8 and 1. That's 8, that's 1. 1, 3, 8, 4 and 6. So this would be 2, 5, 7, 9, 5 and 2. So that's a 2, 5. That's a 7, 9. Can't have 7 next to a 6. That's a 9. That's a 7 and 2. So that's a 2. That's a 5. And 7 is pushed here. That's a 7. 5 is pushed here. And so 1 and 3 remaining. So this has to be 1, 3 pair. Okay, how do we resolve this now? Is 1 is not near to a 2. Okay, 4, which means that you can't have the 3 here, right? So that has to be a 1, that has to be a 3, that has to be a 3, and that has to be a 1. And with that, we have completed this really fun to solve creation by Richard Stolk. Hope you guys enjoyed watching me solve the Sudoku. We are happy to receive a request from a viewer and we are happy to make a video on it. Please like and comment under the video, and please share the video with your friends. We'll really be happy if you share the video. Thank you guys. Hope to see you soon. Bye bye.